We were just about to call the police, Julian exclaimed. Really? What did you do with the rent money? Bethany asked, exasperated. Oh, I just left it over there on that empty shelf. Daisy pointed to the empty spot. Julian buried his face in his hands. Call the police. Meanwhile, downstairs, Bernard Vance was examining his reflection in a small mirror, frowning at his thinning hair. The hair's really getting thin back here. You know, it's funny, when you get to be my age, that's always the first thing to go. Not in your case, Eleanor Vance said, looking up from her gardening magazine. Look, aren't those pretty? Gorgeous. She pointed to a picture of vibrant dahlias. Bernard ignored her. Are you peeping at that blonde again? The blonde you're always peeping at? I don't know what you're talking about. The one in 105. Eleanor said. 107. Bernard corrected automatically. I got news for you. Bernard, you got competition. We had a peeping Tom the other night. You're making that up? Bernard scoffed. No, I'm not. I saw him plain as anything. He was looking in our bedroom window and yawning. You must have been getting undressed, Bernard said, a sly grin. Where'd you get those? He pointed to a vase of fresh-cut flowers. Oh, Daisy gave them to me. Aren't they beautiful? Yeah, almost as good as mine. They are yours. She got them from your garden, Eleanor said, a hint of accusation. Gee, what? Now don't get mad, Bernard. It's the thought that counts. Eleanor tried to placate him. You know, I think we ought to do something for those kids in return, like take them out to dinner. Take them out to dinner. What for? Bernard asked, aghast. Well, just to be neighborly. I don't want to be neighborly. If they would move out, I could rent that apartment for a lot more money. Oh, come on, Bernard. It'd be fun. Please. Careful, you're using up my hair, Eleanor said, stroking his head. Oh, come on, Bernard. Just a little something to give them pleasure. You were young once. You remember the little things that used to give you pleasure? Watching the Wright brothers fly for the first time. Bernard deadpanned. Oh, come on, Bernard. All right, I'll invite them out to dinner. It'll give me a rest from your cooking. Good. Okay, you go and invite them, and I'll look for something to wear. Eleanor said. Oh, are you coming to? Bernard asked, surprised. Upstairs, the trio was in a state of panic. $300 and were wiped out. Do you realize how long it takes me to save $300? Bethany lamented. How long? Daisy asked. I don't know. I'm still saving. Bethany sighed. Oh boy, do I know what you mean, Daisy. Well, I could just cry. No, Daisy. Crying won't help anything. What we've got to do is raise the $300 for this month's rent, Julian said, trying to be practical. That was last month's rent. We're already a month behind. Bethany corrected him. Well, we've got to raise the money somehow. Maybe we could sell something. Julian suggested. I've only got one thing worth selling, and I was hoping to save that till I got married. My grandmother's wedding ring. Daisy said, her voice trembling. Maybe we should just tell Bernard. Bethany suggested tentatively. Yeah, any reasonable man would understand. Daisy agreed. Oh, you're right, we can't tell Bernard. Julian slapped his forehead. A knock sounded at the door. Tripper. Julian Thorne. Yeah. Oh, yes, that's me, officer. Julian answered, seeing a police officer standing there. I'm the one who phoned in about the stolen money. Oh, no, officer. There are no signs of forcible entry. You know we don't know how those burglars got in here. The officer held up a key. Well, this key might give us a clue. Oh, we keep it out there for our own use. No one else is supposed to use it, Julian explained, pointing to the key hidden under the doormat. Was there anything else missing? Yes, sir. A transistor radio, black with a silver dial. The volume knob is missing. No, you're forgetting I took that to be repaired. Daisy chimed in. Which Daisy took to be repaired, so it's not missing, sir. The officer looked skeptical. Tell me, are you in the habit of leaving $300 in cash lying around? We're not in the habit of having $300. Bethany muttered. That was our rent money. You see, every week we collect some money for the pot. Oh, I mean the kitty. And you kept this cash hanging around loose? Of course not, it wasn't loose. It was in a big white envelope with the word rent printed on it. Julian explained. Oh, this $300. Do you have the numbers of the notes? Yes, 2 of them were 50s, 15 of them were 10s. Bethany rattled off, trying to sound convincing. And there was nothing else missing? Well, not exactly missing, but there are always things we can't find. Small things, you know, like lipstick or... Daisy began. You can't find your lipstick? The officer asked. No, Julian's or my odd socks. I mean, those items are not exactly missing, they're just lost. I mean, they're always here somewhere, but you can't find them. But that's not quite what you're talking about. Bethany tried to explain. They didn't take the television set. I wonder why they didn't take the TV. The officer mused. Have you seen some of these new shows? Julian retorted. Look, officer, we are really in a bind here. You see, if we tell our landlord that we can't pay the rent, he won't believe us. But if you tell him that the money was stolen, he'll believe it. What a super idea, Bethany! Daisy exclaimed. Thank you. The officer sighed, shaking his head. You want me to tell the landlord that the rent money is stolen? Please. How many times have you pulled this stunt? What stunt? Julian asked, feigning innocence. Oh, come on, Sammy, you're not dealing with a rookie. Next time you want to fake a burglary, make it look real. Break up a few things, get rid of the TV, and think up a better story than leaving $300 lying around in an envelope marked rent. Nobody's that stupid. We are, Julian mumbled. You know you're lucky I don't run you all in, the officer warned. Hey, wait a minute. Yes, sir. Thank you for not running us all in, officer, Bethany said quickly. He didn't even read us our rights. What time is it? Julian asked, looking at his watch. 6 o'clock. Oh, that means Bernard will be here any minute to collect the rent. Oh, and he warned us last month if we don't have that money today. Bethany's voice trailed off in despair. "Oh, he won't really throw us out," Daisy said, trying to be optimistic. "Are you kidding? He would enjoy throwing